Hey guys, this is Sarah's Night, continuing on with Let's Play Resident Evil Village, and right quick, I wanted to kind of make some amendments to some of the things I talked about in the last part. I doubt she'd even be listening, but when I spoke of one person along with a personal friend from beyond the YouTube community, Multifabs, who seemed to always keep up with my Let's Reads, especially the Ramona Quimby books. I had forgotten her name, but it was actually BT Shea. So if you happen to be watching this video and listening, just shout out to you as well. And also, I was talking about I don't know what brought it up in the first place. I started talking about like found footage movies. I think it was the atmosphere of crawling along in the dark when I first crashed that when that BSAA transport crash where everybody else who was escorting me died, and I survived, and I'm trudging along in the dark and just hear a bunch of sounds that reminded me of found footage movies. I think that's what it was, and I was trying to think of one in particular that I actually really like. I was like something something Grove. It was called Hollows Grove, and so I do suggest looking that up and giving that a chance if you have any if you have any affection for found footage type horror movies at all. It actually had um, the kid that played Aberman in the Mighty Ducks movie. I'm sure a lot of people who keep up my Let's Plays, I'm assuming you're around the same age as me, so you probably saw that as a kid. But yeah, the nerdy kid with glasses, Aberman. Yeah, it actually had the actor who played him in this Hollows Grove movie, and also Lance Henriksen. He was playing some like what I imagine Al Bundy would be like if he were a man nearing 70. He played like the guy that was going to set up all the scares, that was hired by the group investigating this asylum called Hollows Grove. He was like the guy who who the group hired to set up all the scares, so that they would have something for their show when they went in there and started filming, because I don't think any of them actually believed in ghosts or anything. And I forgot that there were actually enemies in this area. Hopefully I can just run right here, and I think as soon as I go through this door and activate the scene, yeah, I think they disappear.
Hey, what are you doing here? Stay back.
Please, don't hurt us.
Whoa. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just glad to see normal people at last. Have you seen any other survivors?
No. They're all in Louise's house. And she's not answering and the gate is locked.
Quiet girl. He's an outsider.
Oh.
Well, I'm about all that can save you right now, old man, because you have three bloodthirsty werewolves right outside. I don't know what's stopping them from breaking down the door.
We have to get into Louise's house.
Quiet. Must be a way inside. Stay here. Be quiet. And don't move until I get those gates open.
I do see where those that do criticize Ethan for being like a boring protagonist or whatever, because he just never seems to show any emotion, but nevertheless, I do have to hand it to him. He seems like a genuinely good guy. Alright, so yeah, we just crawl over this hole in the wall and unlock the gate from within, and I think the enemies disappear. I can actually just call the people over from...
Come on, it's clear.
Hurry! Hurry!
Yeah, I did try this before. I think when I was like on I tried playing Village of Shadows difficulty, which is even harder than this one, on a New Game Plus, and I didn't make it very far. It was hard even with, already upgraded weapons and everything. I think I tried that because just about everything kills you in one hit.
Will be safe
And
in
I
here,
was worried that when I
won't we?
called these people over,
Safer
that
than out there, that's for sure.
if I did leave the enemies outside,
Hey, do you know anything about
if
what's
I
going
did
on
not
here?
slay them
It
before
doesn't
going
make
into
any
the house
sense.
going into their
Mother
little
Miranda
house to
has
activate the
always
cutscene in the
protected us.
first place,
Nobody's answer.
that would actually spell a game over for me. Like they could attack, they would still be waiting outside when I called these guys over, and the werewolves would actually attack them, and it'd be game over or something. But apparently, they do disappear completely. Thankfully.
Just hold on a bit longer, Papa.
Now let's make sure I do not miss any possible items that would only be out here for the taking out front before I knock on the door and try to get inside. Just in case that disappears, I will definitely take all the chem fluid I can get. That needs to be open later when I come out of this house.
Hello? Anybody home?
Maybe a familiar voice. Louisa! Open up, it's me, Elena!
Just open the door and you
Shouting, you'll draw the
get a
monsters.
shotgun barrel right in your face.
Who's this?
A friend!
Stay back.
Father, for God's sake, Julian, let us in.
No, they'll smell the blood. You'll endanger us all.
My father will die out here.
But that's not my problem.
What's going on?
These people want to let a dying man into our home.
Come now, these people are our friends. Go on, go inside. Come now, this way. You're not from this village.
No. I'm Ethan.
Julian, go make yourself useful and check the grounds. I said go! Well,
Of course, the guy has to remain suspicious the whole time.
then so do I. Come inside, Ethan.
I'll admit, I think this Louisa woman is genuinely kind.
I'll check on the
It's
others.
just her religion. Yeah, I'm kind of judging here. Her particular religion kind of creeps me out. They seem to actually worship this Mother Miranda lady as their god when it's obvious she's psychotic. And she's pretty much behind, even though Louisa and the others are sheltering from the monsters outside, all the werewolves roaming about and everything, it's obvious Mother Miranda is responsible for this in the first place. But at least I'll give Louisa credit. She does seem to be genuinely kind to me and wants to help me, even though I am a quote-unquote outsider. A lot of people in that religious fanatic role definitely would not be so easygoing or kind towards strangers in any way. Oh, you were waiting for me. Okay.
Come inside, the others are waiting.
The fuck is this? Outsiders, you're gonna get us all killed.
And you also have this stereotype character, the one who's definitely untrusting and seems to want to just outright kill me as soon as I come on the scene.
Take a seat.
And doesn't care about anybody else, personally.
Left? From your entire village? All that's left? There is no one left! A worthless invalid,
And on top of that, he's a drunkard.
wailing bitch! And you drag a bloody man and an outsider in here like it's nothing? And expect to be all safe?
Well, bro, isn't this Louisa's house? Wouldn't she have the right to keep you out as well if she wanted? Yeah, these kind of people never survive. You think they would learn the rules and not be such a jerk ass just on
That's enough!
self-preservation instincts alone.
Has protected my family for generations. And drunk or not, you are all welcome and safe in here.
Whatever.
Screw you too, buddy.
What the hell is going on here?
We don't know. One day we were a quiet, devout village, and the next, the monsters came and attacked us. And they kept coming.
Wait, Louisa. Where is your husband? Did they?
No. No, he is out there. Somewhere.
You know,
went
I
to-
did always wonder if this was just some kind of
Yes,
glitch
That's it. He went to fetch
or
her.
not, but it's weird how the light in the corner
For him.
goes from like the normal
all of
lamp color
us.
light to red,
Good
but I'm
idea.
wondering if that was actually intended, like red is kind of
Gather.
meant to be menacing. Or if, well, I forgot it's no longer flashing at this point, so it only seems to happen when it's at the corner of the screen.
Hear our voice.
There's probably something in the lighting effects I could change to get rid of that, but I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's just,
Within the endless dark.
it was just something I noticed.
Into fate's hands. As the midnight moon rises on black wings, so we make our sacrifice and await the light at the end.
Well, as long as you don't sacrifice virgins or babies or something that you're talking about there in your prayer, that's cool.
Now, the tea should be ready. Come help me, Elena, please.
That prayer. I've heard it before. There was an old woman near the graveyard.
You mean the hag? Bitch is crazy as a bag of rats.
There is wisdom in her devotion, though. And I hope it protected her as it shall protect us.
What are you doing?
Leonardo, what's wrong?
Yep. It turns out that sadly, even though he's a dick, that drunkard in the corner was actually correct, and that it was dangerous letting this guy inside.
Elena, no, stay back!
No, let me go!
And just instantly, everybody dies.
He'll kill us both! We have to go!
It's like Ethan's not even gonna try to see if anybody... Actually, I don't think I even have to shoot. Just, yeah. I think the game was trying to trick you into wasting some bullets there.
Elena?
I said no!
Hey, you actually scored one. That's probably the only time any civilian in this village actually managed to kill one of the werewolves.
That wasn't your father anymore.
But yeah, her father was infected and all, and turned just as we brought him into the...
Elena, no! There's nothing
Sadly.
you can do. This entire place is collapsing! You couldn't save him. He was already gone.
Leave me alone!
No, we're getting out of here. Together. I gotta get out of here.
Alright, I know where to go, but I want to be sure I'm not missing any items here. So let's look around a little bit. Yeah, I knew there was something here along with the key item that I have to pick up in order to start the car. Take the screwdriver out of the key... Yeah. Get both a key ring and a screwdriver. There's also ammo. Awesome. Now, right quick, I'm going to put this... I don't know, I tend to use the same shortcuts for my weapons in later RE games. Shotgun always goes in the bottom, a handgun of some sort goes on the top. TMP on the left or right, Magnum on the left or right. But basically, the heavier the weapon, not necessarily the most, damaging in a single shot, tends to go on the bottom. Actually, if I recall, Oh no, that was RE4, not this game, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking, aren't there like 2 shortcuts for each cardinal direction? And one of these, it wasn't 8, it was M4, and it was definitely convenient. Because when you include the grenades and everything, you definitely get quite the variety of weapons, and it would be great to be able to have more than just 4 shortcuts you can place weapons into.
Nowhere to go but up. Grab on. Hurry. Let's move. Don't worry, and try not to breathe in the smoke.
I don't mind necessarily because
Thank you, Ethan.
she looks pretty generic, but Elena here always reminded me of
I hope your family is
the main character from the live action
Once we get out of here, maybe we can meet them.
TV series Emily of New Moon. I don't know what came first actually, that or like the anime.
Come on, it'll hold.
But the anime was how I first discovered that this show even existed in the first place, like back in 2008.
There. That's our
But I
way
think
out.
the anime is a lot older than that.
But what then? The village is still full of monsters. We can't fight them. There's
If
too
you're into
many.
nice feel-good shows and everything like that, I do
We'll
I
find
do
a safe
recommend
house
it.
to put you in until I can find my daughter. My hunch is she's in that old castle.
No. That place is full of nothing but blood and death. And I don't want to be alone while you're...
Well, thanks for reminding me that that's what I'm about to plunge into.
Elena, no.
And unfortunately, Elena gets over-emotional here,
He said my name.
tries to save her old man even though it's a trick, and she dies too.
Stay there. Come on, give me your hand.
Ethan, go. Save your daughter.
Elena, don't give up. Reach for me. God damn it.
I do kind of understand at this point. It seemed like Elena did regain her senses, and she knew that she had a chance to grab Ethan's hand, or try running back up the hanging floorboards in order to get back up onto my level, but she just felt she'd lost so much. It is kind of understandable, and however depressing it is that she chose to just kind of lay down and die with her father.
I just don't get it.
But yeah, that's everybody, other than the, you know, cryptic old lady shaman, who we'll meet several more times, and the merchant duke. There's not another human being in this village.
Why the fuck is this
Actually, I'm not
happening
sure
again?
if Duke's even an inhabitant himself.
Shit.
It doesn't seem like he would be. And he also gives a hint later on. I mean, we haven't met this guy yet. But for those of you who have played this game before, you definitely know. We get a merchant-like character with the same function as the merchant from RE4. A delightfully magnificent bastard type character named the Duke. And he's genuinely helpful. I do like him. But he gives an illusion that he actually does know the unnamed merchant from RE4 at some point. I thought that was kind of cool. So I assume he's not a resident of this village. Therefore, the only human resident that we who's still alive in this village, that's definitely not a human who is walking away from me, is the old lady shaman we met once earlier, who closed the gates behind me, so I'm trapped in this area. I do not think there were any monsters at all. I hope not. Kinda not in the mood to fight any of them right now. And just in case I can go ahead, I do not remember if this happens. Probably not. I don't know why I don't remember something like this offhand, but I do not remember 100% sure if your clip is refilled when you upgrade it with the merchant, like it is in RE4. And I know we're about to meet the merchant in front of our first, official level of the game, so to speak. And offhand, I would say I don't really meet any enemies before him. At least none that I actually have to use any weapons on, so we are not going to reload our shotgun just yet. Every piece of ammo will be precious. I did not search the houses on the side of the wheat field over here as I was coming through earlier, so we are going to check those out first. Oh, right here. Just in case, let's pull this in so I have a chance to escape if I need to, if any enemies show up. And every now and then I have trouble honing in on an item here in order to pick it up, sorry. Mines are definitely useful. Even though they are risky, at least for me. Oh, Shaman Lady has already shown back up.
Death has visited them all.
Okay, well, goodbye. And what I like is, here's just one place, but there are several locations throughout the village that I can uncover and get items from as I go on and get certain key items or weapons or things like that. Much like that well over here that I just passed. As soon as I find the crank for it, there are actually several wells throughout the village I can use that crank on and find a useful item. I think there's also like wild animals I can hunt down too, and I can take their carcasses for meat to create recipes with a Duke that gives me like permanent stat boosts. That was interesting.
Guess this leads to the castle.
Ah, there we are. There's the maiden shoulder and head facing the beast. Okay, there we go.
Nothing but blood and death. Huh?
Before we head in, let's do one final perimeter check. That gate's closed because I know that I'm away from Demetres Castle, the first, kind of major dungeon. I come from that direction. I was already in here. That's the gate that the Shaman Lady closed behind me. Or behind her, locking me in this area. There's another well I can't access the item in yet. Okay. Oops, got too close. Were there fish down in this area? No, I don't think so. Also do have to catch plenty of fish as part of those recipes I mentioned with the Duke earlier, but I don't think they appear in the pond until my return trip from Demetres Castle. And this is by far the most entertaining character.
You must be pretty.
And probably a lot of people have thought this, but Atlantis remarked that when I first played this at his house a year and a half or so ago, he was like, this guy, like, if Resident Evil 8 were a live action movie, this guy would definitely be played by Nicolas Cage. He does sound a lot like him, actually. But this, Heisenberg, the name of this guy who just appeared in this cutscene and trapped me. He's got a lot of one-liners. Just talks a lot. You're like, yeah, that's Nicolas Cage playing one of his craziest roles. What I do like is that we actually get to meet all the bad guys, the so-called leaders of this village. When they took over with the werewolves and everything. They're all here, and for some reason, instead of just killing me outright, which they could easily, I am no match for any one of them right now. Not even close. But they all choose to make like a show of putting me through a gauntlet of traps for their amusement, to watch me die slowly. And of course, I managed to escape, and it's their loss.
I've heard all your arguments. Some of you were less persuasive.
There's Dimitrescu on the far left.
I've made my decision.
And so on to the right. In the back, you got the veiled lady. I even forgot Lady Donna? Lady Angie? No, Angie was the name of the doll she controls. Mother Miranda in the middle, and then the boomer-looking guy, overshadowed, by that shroud he's wearing over himself, is Moreau, and finally Heisenberg talking shit right now.
Quiet now, child. Adults are talking.
I'm the child. You're the one who's arguing with Miranda's decision.
You wouldn't know responsibility if it was welded
Oh,
to
keep growing. One day your head will actually fit your ego.
Don't I get a say in this?
Silence! My decision
Right now,
is
that
final.
doll that the lady all in black is controlling, who I don't think she ever even talks. That doll Angie that she's controlling sounds a little bit annoying in this scene, but actually she makes for easily the creepiest boss fight. Definitely not the hardest. It's pretty easy to do without even taking any damage whatsoever, because it's more of a puzzle fight than an actual boss fight. But that actually makes for probably my second creepiest scene in the entire series. So that's nice.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so we make a run for it. And I can't be cowed by all the lichens, clawing at the walls through boards and stuff. I think me stopping to make sure they can't hurt me or anything is what the game kind of means to slow you down during this part and end up delaying you when this trap starts, that Heisenberg starts chasing after you. So if you don't run and pick the correct path and all that in time, you're just gonna automatically die. Yeah, Heisenberg is already throwing out the, I'm impressed you've made it this far. Nobody else has, but oh, we do get a lot farther with him. There we are.
My word, you truly are as strong as they say.
Well, I hadn't really proved my strength here, more like just my quick thinking. But I know he meant that in kind of a generic way. I'm not really fussing over that line. So yeah, what you had to do here, and of course I definitely didn't see it my first time ever, was just pick this cubby hole in one corner of the room. It just happened to be there by sheer luck, and I was able to stop the,
Too close. Wait, do those
or
freaks
more
have
like
rose?
avoid this huge contraption which would have ground me to bits. Kind of reminds me of one of the opening scenes in that movie, The Collector. Or no, it was the sequel to The Collector. I don't know if any of y'all seen that. An unusually good, I say series of movies. There was only like The Collector and its sequel. But both of them were unusually good, or at least way better than I would have thought. Very little known as far as I know, too. But yeah, I will say Heisenberg never seems to quite get rattled as Ethan, continues to survive longer and longer, and actually starts to kill off the other lords of the village, surviving against them, and Heisenberg is the last to go. But he never seems to get rattled by that, and I do kind of respect that in a villain. And like I said, he's super entertaining. Wait, didn't I just come through here? Or am I tripping? Yeah, I can't believe I literally just came from this direction, and while I'm talking, I lose all sense of direction. Oh, it was through the door originally that I was trying to infiltrate Dimitrescu's castle. We're kind of like in the basement of it. So as soon as they see that I survived their little game back there, Dimitrescu decides to step up and be my first major opponent. Let's see if I can peg a crow from here and get some money. Don't want to... You really don't have to get close at all before they get startled and fly away. Oh. Yeah, okay, I did nail it. I thought I saw one fly away from the exact same spot. Yeah, it's amazing the obvious details I miss. I seriously cannot talk and play a game decently at the same time. Ah, here we are. Here's our man Duke. Yeah, I know he looks kind of gross. With, I mean, as overweight as he is, just that huge belly hanging out. But other than that, he's well dressed and is definitely well mannered and definitely well mannered enough. So I like him.
Castle arouses suspicion.
Yeah, and so do you.
I am but a humble merchant.
Here?
Oh, forgive my manners. Call me the Duke. Now to business. Weapons, ammunition, healing salves, anything you desire, I can provide. Ah, yes.
I mean, the unnamed RE4 merchants. I mean, I actually kind of assume that there's that pretty much everyone you see in a new location is a new guy, or at least I've considered the possibility. But yeah, I like the Duke even more than him. So, right now we don't have the money to upgrade anything. That sucks. This will not be easy. I would say getting through, I mean, as with most RE games, I would say the first 10 to 25% of the game is always the hardest. So Dimitrescu Castle, which we are about to infiltrate, as the first major area of the game, that is going to be the toughest time. Because I am the least well equipped. I might be willing to actually spend the money on this just for if I run out of ammo. I'm assuming it's actually a lot better choice than the regular kitchen knife that I have. So we'll go ahead and go for it. Hand cannon, only 1,100 bucks. Well, if I get desperate, I will try it out. Yeah, so I do have all these options open for like the special guns and stuff I've unlocked, even though I am on a regular new game. So I'll just keep it in mind for
I saw you eyeing that one.
if I'm just
Securing
failing
goods
too
is
much and
more
need to get through this LP.
Anything, my friend.
Anything I can sell at all? No.
Till next we meet.
Decent amount of handgun ammo, but it will go quicker than you think. There a typewriter here? No? Okay. Okay, thought I saw the yellow tape. It was just the color of the leaves right here. I thought I saw yellow tape, meaning there's a box I could shatter and grab an item.
Could Rose be here?
This actually does have some importance. Although I am a little bit confused by this. Maybe it's just a flattering artist rendering of the three like vampire daughters of Demetrius that chase you around this castle. Because if I recall, the backstory of them is they were never human. They were actually created by an experiment either Dimitrescu or Mother Miranda was doing with the what I actually don't even remember the name of the virus. Just what the plot device that's turning everybody into monsters and werewolves in this game. And I was saying at the community that I've been a part of for a really long while, the singles community at Christian forums. There are actually a couple of fellow Resident Evil fans on there, and one of them in particular who wasn't a fan was a lady a few years older than me, who called herself Bella on the forums. Very very classy gal. I was telling her about my progress through here because one of those vampire daughters, aforementioned vampire daughters, is named Bella. So I was like, I don't know if that would flatter you or not to Bella in the singles community. I was like, I don't know if that would flatter you or not, but here's a nice picture. Here's a nice picture of her, and she was like, oh, she looks like quite the femme fatale. So no worries, I'm not insulted by that at all. And she actually kind of liked me, along with this other guy who was an actual Resident Evil fan, who was playing through this game for the first time at about the same time as me. They liked hearing of my first time progress report through this game. Okay, yeah, no need to read about that. So there is like a puzzle like this where you kind of guide a ball along a maze and into the proper hole in order to unlock the item within and be able to sell it. There's 4 of these in-game total, 1 for each major level, so we will definitely be trying to do that as soon as I can find the key to unlock this. We will go ahead. There's no enemies I should have to fight. We'll go ahead and activate the cutscene up here. And this is the way out that I spend, you know, the next hour, 2 hours of the game, searching all around this castle for a way to unlock. And these are our 3 wannabe vampire daughters. God, Ethan takes so much like cutscene abuse in this game. It's ridiculous, and his health is just fine after the scene is over. It's amazing. And like a lot of times he barely even reacts to the pain. Certainly doesn't scream or anything, even though it must be excruciating to have, you know, hooks put through your Achilles tendon, and then your hands here in a little bit, and having to like actually, you know, free yourself of, you know, how these ladies confine you, having to free yourself of the.
Yes, Mother.
Free yourself of your bindings by actually pulling your hands through hooks. Ugh. Oh yeah, I was also telling Bella, I was like, along with the, you know, showing her a picture of one of these daughters, Bella, which actually was kind of nice, mostly because in that picture I showed, she didn't have blood all over her mouth, like they all do here, and she didn't look quite that diabolical. I was like, yeah, I'm being chased around this castle by a very overbearing, tall Amazon woman who likes to pretend she's a vampire, and it's not nearly as sexy as it might sound. I honestly don't feel that way. I've heard a lot of fans are into Dimitrescu. Being all tall and having a huge rack and all that. But just the fact that she likes to torture people and drink their blood kind of just really ruins it for me, you know? I didn't take that into account before that whichever the daughters that is, the last one to walk out of the room waves a handkerchief at me, like, that is kind of a nice touch. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, it's showing that I'm down to low health here, and yeah, of course, I mean, even a regular person, you wouldn't even necessarily have to be Ethan with, you know, the superhuman abilities he's gained from being infected by the mold last game, but yeah, I understand that this wouldn't necessarily kill a person, so and he is using a first aid spray to heal those wounds. It's just this happens so often. Ah, here's a treasure I can sell. First one I found in the whole entire game, I think. Lockpick drawer, yeah, don't have one of those yet. We're keeping that little tidbit from Resident Evil 7. And we escape out this way. And that is the first key item we pick up, which I just have to search for the door that kind of starts paving the way for me to keep finding key items behind every new door. And eventually uncover all the masks that are going to be put up on these statues here in front of the exit that I was checking out earlier before the vampire daughters accosted me. Oh, right. Need to break this open with a knife. There is an item in there. And let's make sure that's equipped on our shortcut. That is actually worth quite a bit. I think 1,000?
Where have they taken Rose?
Considering how commonplace they are, at least in this first level. Alright, so we need to put masks on all 4 of these headless angel statues to open this door forward, and in the meantime, Duke has set up shop right here.
Oh, we meet again.
Duke, why are you here?
Where there's coin to be made. And have you found your daughter?
No.
If she is truly here, the lady
Well,
of the
we'll
castle would have
find
kept
her
little
here and
Rose
there.
in her private chambers, would she not?
Dimitrescu?
The very same. Why don't you take a look? Maybe you'll get lucky. And speaking of looking, care to make a purchase?
I've also never understood, I mean, I know it kind of has to be that way in game, but I never understood why in this universe, Dimitrescu, why she's always afraid to come in this room. I mean, surely she can see Duke is in here like an intruder in her castle, and she won't come in here and take care of him, because I'm pretty sure she could take this guy, as much as I like him on a personal level. Okay, now I want to say before I experiment and try upgrading my shotgun, the capacity on it, in case it doesn't refill the clip, then
As you wish.
then in the end I do not want to. Oh, never mind, it's 2,000. Nice. The Crimson Glass, unfortunately, I could have sworn it was 8,000 or so, and it was way lower than that. That sucks.
Your coin.
It is just enough, however, to try upgrading the capacity.
Delighted to. Good day then.
Yes! Sweet, it refills my clip. Good. Alright, well, I think that's enough for one segment of this LP, so we will start exploring Dimitrescu Castle when I return. I shall be here to escort you as your personal knight on our next adventure. See ya!